Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucci, joined as always by my friend, the boy.
Didn't have anything clever, did you?
I didn't think to come up with something. The only thing I could think of was sidekick, and we already used that.
Yeah, I used it. Haha. Hi. My line is that.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Apparently.
All right.
But before we get into it, you gotta like, comment, favorite, subscribe, share,
rate, link, go
tweet, tumble, Google, Google Glass,
post it on 4chan.
Xbox on, go to YouTube, rate 5 stars, Netflix, Hulu,
LinkedIn, can't forget that.
Yeah, LinkedIn, yeah, for our careers. Super Blizzard. He does that Shining Wizardo, Let's Get Hardcore goodness that you just got done listening to a clip of.
It's really cool. He also does a lot of other cool songs.
Go buy his music. I was in my car today. I heard The Show Must Go On. Oh, man. Tears. The feels.
Seriously, there's a lot of feels in that song.
If you love wrestling, buy this man's music, because he loves wrestling, and you should give people who love wrestling money. We also love wrestling. And we love Comic-Con.
That's a great segue.
Thanks!
I was like, wow, that's just dead air.
I made it up just now.
So, no segue there. That is just completely changing gears. Time to pull the transporter backwards U-turn into a different subject. So, Comic-Con this year. Full disclosure, listener, I normally don't follow Comic-Con news very closely.
You do, but you don't know it's Comic-Con news.
No, it's just sort of general nerd news. I don't go looking for news during Comic-Con because I don't live in San Diego. I don't got the money to go to San Diego, and most of the Comic-Con news is, oh my god, you guys. Oh my god, all the people in San Diego got to see this really cool thing that you don't get to see.
Can I stop you for a second? Listener, Ultimo, anybody else out there who happens to be hanging out with Ultimo. Is it just me, or does every time somebody talks about the San Diego Comic-Con, all I can think of is a whale's vagina?
You know, I got nothing. I got nobody responds for
Nothing?
that.
Yeah, I mean, just every single time. Here we are live in San Diego, a whale's vagina. Every time.
Okay.
It's an Anchorman reference for those of you who have never seen that film. It's good.
Yeah.
And I'm not making the reference to, me making a joke, literally, every time. Whale pussy.
I've never heard him mention this before.
Orca twat.
I'm as stunned as you.
I'm stopping there. Ordinarily I'd go on, but we're about to get real vulgar.
Just remember, listener, if you ever have the cause to incite this man to anger, Orca twat is not his high bar for vulgar.
We get worse.
That's a
good insult, though. Call your friends tomorrow at school, children who are listening to the podcast under the age of 18. Orca twat. That won't get you in any trouble.
And just remember to mention us and the fact that we exist.
Yeah! Because that will make us newsworthy.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, what? 2 nerds? And then they'll listen to us. And that gets us pennies.
We like them. We throw them into wishing wells. It makes our dreams not come true. But it gives us good feelings.
I've been wishing for good feelings.
So his dreams are coming true.
We have wasted 4 minutes of podcast.
You know what? That's okay.
Ooh!
As we were saying, I don't know about him. I don't get all up on Comic-Con's proverbial genitalia. Just because it's not really, all the news that happens at Comic-Con, I'm not going to be able to see for a while. I saw the Batman vs. Superman teaser trailer because I looked it up and I found a leak of it, and it was quickly taken down. I can't find a leak of the Avengers trailer. I tried.
I did the same thing for the Godzilla trailer last year. I found it, instantly, and it was gone.
It's just, look... I'm too lazy to try and find leaks of this stuff, and I'm not going to get to see the cool stuff for a while, and I'm just going to get excited about the cool stuff when I see it.
Here's the funny thing, too. I haven't sworn off trailers entirely, but I don't...
Anything beyond a teaser trailer, I'm a little wary of these days.
Because it seems like a lot of film companies and game companies will just, like, spoilers you.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea. You want to put the coolest moments from your movie in the trailer to get people to buy tickets. The problem is, if you show me all the coolest moments from your movie, that ruins my experience watching your movie. Because then I don't get to experience the cool moments. I just go, oh yeah, that was in the trailer.
My exception being Ninja Turtles. I've seen, like, every trailer for that.
Well, you gotta, I mean, it's best to know when you're going to go specifically to look at a train wreck what you're in for.
I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it.
And you're an odd motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm getting used to Turtle Lips. I didn't hate him to begin with, but I'm just starting to get used to it.
I'll never be used to Turtle Lips. I'm gonna spend the whole movie thinking about it.
Turtle lips, turtle lips, turtle lips, turtle lips. Lips on my dick. That's what your inner monologue will be.
You know what? Make that joke if you must. I'm not normally the guy who goes to see movies I don't like. I'm not.
No.
I'm not the angry fan.
No.
I vote with my wallet. If I don't want to watch your movie, I just don't go to your movie. I don't get it on DVD. I don't watch it on Netflix because you get movies for that. I will watch it if someone else brings over their DVD, so that I am giving you no money. I'm never going to see The Amazing Spider-Man because I don't want to give it money in any sense of the word. I'm kind of even reluctant to give it my time. But I'll do that if someone like brings over a DVD.
Here's where I am with The Amazing Spider-Man.
Or if I could watch it on someone else's Netflix.
And this is the fucking funny thing. I mean, we did a show on comic books, comic book movies specifically, which this is kind of like the follow-up to. I mean, this is about Comic-Con news, but let's be honest, we're not going to talk about much other than comic book movies, because that's all they fucking talked about.
Also, it's Comic-Con.
Yeah.
If I want to talk about game news, I'll wait till the Penny Arcade Expo, because let's face it, E3 is not for video game news anymore.
Yeah, sometimes they'll drop a thing or two.
But usually they wait for PAX.
And that's just around the corner.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, we talked about how we wanted to see this, that, and the other thing, and then, like, in the weeks following, they came out with stuff about...
Like all those stuff we talked about.
Yeah.
Like, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are getting a Netflix series.
Yeah.
2 separate ones. And then they're going to cross over with another Netflix series to make a Defenders Netflix series. Look, I'm real excited about that, but let's move on.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He's getting a series.
Which is great.
Or a movie. I can't remember which.
He's getting something.
Current casting rumors say Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think he's a bad actor, but I don't know if he's Doctor Strange.
If the motherfucker can enunciate, I'm happy. Every Joaquin Phoenix movie I've ever seen him in, and I'm not joking, it's not a lot, but all the clips of him I've seen, all that, he's always fucking mumbling, and Doctor Strange is like 0.5 less ridiculous than Dr. Orpheus from the Venture Brothers. He has to be able to he has to be able to be the big bombastic motherfucker that Stephen Strange is. If he plays a role like that, I'm not gonna like it. For people who don't understand Joaquin Phoenix, that's if he plays the role like this, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, but I mean, he might drop out too because he was rumored to be playing. I don't know why my brain's saying Captain Kirk. That's like totally the wrong guy. Lex Luthor.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'd rather have him.
I'd rather have a sack of dirt.
I don't like.
I would rather they cut to a bag of manure.
Of all the stuff in Batman versus Superman that's coming up, Superman versus Batman, I forget what order it's in. I don't really care. The fights they fight movie. That's the part I don't. That's the part I don't want. I don't want Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He's not Lex Luthor. He's not physically intimidating enough because he's not supposed to be scary to Superman, but he's supposed to be a big dude. He's not. He doesn't have the gravitas necessary. I don't see him as a ruthless businessman. I'm sure he's probably, a very cromulent man in practice, but he looks like a teenage boy. And he doesn't even look like Lex Luthor. And he's not shaving his head. He's not even bald.
Listener, I apologize. We're about to dive headfirst into something with, no backstory. I'll try to do as much to catch you up as possible. I've seen the first season of BBC's Sherlock. I stopped watching.
Yeah, he did. Like, straight up. Final episode, he cut out of the series.
And the reason was their portrayal of Moriarty, which, while The Boy has explained to me, is accurate and fits, given the character of Sherlock in that series. I still don't like it because I like classic Moriarty. This is your Moriarty.
This is not Lex
Oh,
Luthor.
and same here. I mean, I fucking love Lex. I would rather have Screamy Lex.
I want him in 3-piece suits, 3-button suits, because they're a little 90s, Mr. Wayne. And I want him to wear power ties, and I want him to be a fucking business person, because that's what Lex Luthor is in his best incarnation. You know what? If you don't want to do that, do him as a mad scientist, which he originally was. Do him as, a bloody-minded and arrogant con, which he became. Do him in the giant fucking suit of armor for all I care. He's not Steve Jobs. He's not Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is a supervillain, but not Lex Luthor.
He was defeated, thankfully.
Yes, the great superhero cancer defeated him. Not a Steve Jobs fan house here at the Two Nerds.
No. He's a dick.
Was. Again, defeated.
No, that will permeate.
I see.
He can no longer be a supervillain. That's a profession. He is still a dick. That hasn't changed. He's just a dead dick.
Like Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just compared Steve Jobs to Hitler.
But you did. I mean,
you agreed.
I just said they were both dicks.
You agreed.
I don't care. I mean, no, it's a much smaller scale. But
yeah, much smaller scale. But
I'm sure Hitler did stuff like that when he wasn't killing a bunch of Jews.
Like, on his weekends off.
Yeah, like if Steve Jobs had committed genocide, he would be as bad as Hitler.
Well, I mean, that's really true of anyone.
I wouldn't say Saddam Hussein was as bad as Hitler, and he was doing some pretty awful stuff.
He didn't, because he wasn't as good at genocide.
No, he wasn't. He was really lazy and would rather ride around in his speedboat making romance novels.
To be as bad as Hitler, you kind of have to get up early in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to work at your awful, terrible atrocities. But there's got to be some ethic there,
So we've already gotten into Super Bad versus Man.
I want to see that movie.
Justice of Justice.
No, shut the hell up. I want to see that movie.
Super Bad versus Man.
Yes, I want to see like a genetically enhanced bat who can fly super fast and has like really precise echolocation and like bites really hard.
And he also needs a dumbass superpower for no reason, like Superman has, like wind vision.
Yeah, wind vision or something equally retarded. And I want to see a horror movie of him versus like one of those superheroes who exists in real life, like the ones who just help old ladies across the street or like try and prevent graffiti. Those guys, I want to see that guy fighting a giant mutant, genetically engineered super bat. I want to see Super Bat versus Man. And Man needs to be like the epitome of manliness as like a helpful superhero. He like has a giant beard and wears a lumberjack shirt and
so he's Canada?
No. Kind of, a little. But Canada's more manly than the US at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, I almost want him to speak with a Canadian accent at this point, but no, he needs to speak with like a very deep Patrick Warburton-esque voice, because that's the manly voice. Maybe the lumberjack shirt is open to reveal a nice musculature to get the masculine mystique in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then that guy fights a giant genetically engineered bat. I want this movie. Make this movie.
You heard me, 16 fans. You better kickstart this shit.
Hey, I don't know who Ultimate Dragon knows.
So we were talking about this movie. There's lots of news about this movie at Can.
Yeah, there is a lot of news. I mean, there was that teaser trailer with, the reveal of what I have to assume, because it didn't look like the suit. It wasn't the regular cape and cowl that they revealed, because they revealed the cape and cowl. Formed leather again, so Batman doesn't look like he's going to be able to turn his head anymore. I liked that in the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman kind of needs to be able to turn his head. Maybe it's gonna be softer leather so he can still turn, but that's important. But at least like the regular suit looks like it's cloth, and I like that. Makes me feel good as a Batman fan. It really does. It's for a lot of reasons, but anyway. But the suit in the trailer looked like the Dark Knight Returns battle suit for when Bruce was getting ready to throw down with Clark Kent. And yes, sold, ticket bought. I'm gonna watch the movie just for that scene. I don't care if the rest of the movie's shit. Full disclosure, don't. I'll take Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor to see that fight scene.
You're what's wrong with America.
Why am I what's wrong with America?
Because you'll take Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor to see 4 minutes of awesome.
Yeah, I will. Look, in the end, the movie isn't called Superman versus Lex Luthor. I'm assuming Lex Luthor is not a severe kid.
Why put the fucking guy in the movie?
Because they're setting up for a Justice League movie. It's the same reason Wonder Woman's in it. And
How long is this fucking movie gonna be? Is it gonna be like 2 Man of Steels?
That's probably gonna be
Mans of Steel?
probably 2.5 hours, I'd imagine.
Man of Steel?
Mans of Steel.
Mans of Steel. Is it going to be 2 Mans of Steel?
There you go. Probably.
Man of Steel?
No, Mans. Men of Steel is probably a different movie.
God, that was 2 really interesting movies that they cut together. I didn't like it. Short version.
Yeah, the Man of Steel discussion. That one's long, and we're both still a little bitter about it, so we're not going to get too deep. I did like it.
It had redeeming qualities. I have no faith in the combined talents of David Goyer, Christopher Nolan, and Zack Snyder. I have faith in them individually.
Yeah, if you let... it's because... Here's the problem, I think, between those movies. And if there's going to be a problem with Superman versus Batman, Batman versus Superman, Madman versus Superbat. You know what? No, that movie's going to be awesome. But any of the other two. If there's a problem, it's going to be that it's schizophrenic. That's really the root of all of the bitching about Man of Steel. Was that it doesn't have a tonal awareness, and it doesn't have a singular tone. That's because... if you let these people, all these guys have vision. They have really solid vision for what they want the movie to be. And none of them match.
No. I mean,
Zack Snyder's a very visual guy.
Mm-hmm.
He makes great visual art. And the great set pieces and the imagery and all that's his vision. Nolan he's a talented director, but he's also kind of a funless douche. And he sucks all the life and joy out of things. Batman minus all the life and joy that's in Batman is the Dark Knight trilogy.
Well, and that's really the exact opposite of what Zack Snyder is. Zack Snyder is DC's Marvel movies.
Yeah, he injects life and joy into things.
Not even injects it. He just embraces what is already there. He takes the absolutely ridiculous shit about comic books and says, no, it's fine, treat it with the decorum and respect it deserves. Let's not lampoon it, let's not lampshade it, just let it be itself.
Like Marvel movies do. And that's why I'm excited, because it looks like Zack Snyder got his claws into this movie more than he had them in Man of Steel, because, I'm going to be honest with you, Christopher Nolan's directing that movie, I don't think we see the battlesuit. The battlesuit, I don't think we see it at all if he's directing that movie.
I was looking forward to Man of Steel too. I thought it was going to be the thing to get me into Superman. I no longer hate the guy, but I'm not a fan.
Because Man of Steel was the setup for a great Superman movie. Like Batman Begins was the setup for a great Batman movie.
And I didn't like Batman Begins. I take that into account too. I didn't care for Batman Begins. Didn't like it that it's strong.
Yeah, you're neutral on it.
It was good when it was good. It was boring when it was boring, and there was a lot of brown and very long, and then there was snow.
Anyway, it was fucking moving back to the
Yeah. I was really looking forward to Man of Steel, and it
wasn't what you expected.
It was disappointing.
And you were looking forward to Man of Steel 2, and it's not going to be Man of Steel.
It's not going to be Man of Steel 2. They had made all this setup for a good movie, and now instead they're like, nah, Marvel's making lots of bank on this Avengers thing. Let's do one of those now.
Oh, well, now let's do the Batman Begins. We needed a Batman Begins for Superman, and now we're going to do the Batman Begins for the Justice League movie. Because that's what this is. It's Justice League in all but name. Because, look, if it's not the Justice League, fucking Aquaman wouldn't be in it. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. That's another highlight for me. That's the trade. Jesse Eisenberg gets to be Lex Luthor because Jason Momoa gets to be Aquaman. and I pull for that actor. He's good. And he's a lot better than the shake he's gotten in Hollywood, and I really hope this does well. I hope Batman vs. Superman does well. I'm pretty sure it's Superman vs. Batman, but you can tell who I care about more. But I hope it does well just because I want Jason Momoa's career to do well, and if he's Aquaman in a movie that bombs, he's done.
Yeah, I don't... I will watch this movie. I will watch it in the theater.
Yeah, because I'm going anyway, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not even so much that. It's just like... I don't want to be that guy who doesn't give it a chance, you know? I mean, that's... As of recently, that's kind of been my thing. I can't bring myself to be too judgy on shit unless I give it a fair shot.
Yeah, I mean, even I have trouble with that, and I'm a pretty judgmental guy.
The big thing where we're tap dancing around here, you know what, let's get one more thing out of the way. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman costume.
Yeah. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman costume.
Looks fine.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's a
seems
little brown.
Yeah, it seems a bit brown, but I wonder if that's the lighting, like Sheriff
it's the lighting. Yeah, I hope it's just the lighting, because the mechanics of that, the armored suit,
it looks good.
With the midriff covered, fine, I don't care. That could have been covered or uncovered. They made it look good covered, and that's the important part. I love the high boots. I like the long metal skirt thing with the different plates for protection. I like the way the top looks with the eagle. I like the tiara. I like the way it looks. It looks like Wonder Woman, and that's what I was concerned about. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Gail Gadot. I honestly don't know. I assume it's Gal Gadot based on spelling, but when I saw her, the first pictures of her after she was cast, I looked her up online. She didn't look physically intimidating enough to be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman needs to be like beef. She needs to look like she could whip your ass even if she didn't have superpowers. Because she's supposed to be a Greek statue come to life. And they looked ripped. But I didn't think so. She looks good. Once you put her in the suit, she looks like she's been to the gym, she's beefed up a little bit, and she looks good in the suit. So that was my only concern about the character.
Look at Star-Lord. That guy was a tubby fuck. He was about 2 cakes away from being me when he was on Community, I think was the show. And then he was like, I'm going to go get jacked. And he got jacked.
Yeah, he lives in Hollywood, he's an actor, and he can hire a personal trainer.
Yeah, right.
It's super easy to get jacked when you can hire someone whose entire job it is to pump you up.
Really sad I was drinking and couldn't be a part of that bit. For anyone who's seen a still of the teaser trailer, this is the still I've seen everybody using. And I'm going to say this fair and unbiased, not like Fox News. So it appears that Batman has the traditional animated universe white eyes.
Yes, he does. There's a pregnant pause.
What do you think about it?
Oh, no. Let's come on. The listener's going to have to hear this either way.
Oh, God, it looks so fucking stupid. It looks so fucking stupid. It's the dumbest dumb I've ever looked at, and it's incongruous with the rest of that DC universe, and it... This is the kind of shit that scares me. This is the kind of shit that makes me think Zack Snyder's like, we gotta do the white eyes. And no one's like, no, we can't do the white eyes because this is how I have it written. This is how I imagine he talks. And
that would explain why he doesn't call people on their stupid voice choices. If he has a stupid voice.
No. It's really traditional, and we can use like lights and stuff. Look at all these LED things. Look at all these people at Comic-Con with the cool LEDs in their suits and stuff.
There's totally even people normal. With LEDs over their lights. Over their eyes.
Yeah.
At Comic-Con.
This is totally normal. He can totally do this, and he can use it to see in the dark and stuff. Fine, we'll do it. But then we have to add in about how everyone dies, and it's sad. Sure, yeah, cool, whatever, done.
Because Zack Snyder really wants the white eyes. And, alright, Two things. One, I did a visual bit while he was talking. You didn't see it. It was me pointing at him like, look at this fucking asshole.
Oh my god.
How much of a funless douchebag is he right now, listener? Oh my god. This from you. From Comics Guy. From Has the Original Ninja Turtles Comics Guy. Comic movies, from a guy who just said comic movies need to stop taking themselves so seriously, especially DC, and have fun with it. You're right, it doesn't look entirely realistic. I don't give a fuck if it looks realistic. It's really cool.
Good pints. Pint number 1. You're right. And if this is marking a turnaround for DC, that they're taking themselves less painfully seriously, and they are embracing their comiciness, then it can be an interesting way to go. It's not the turning point I would have selected.
Not the turning point I would have expected, to be honest, but
Because
whatever.
what does this mean for your eventual Robin, your eventual Harley Quinn, your eventual Zatanna? What?
Hey. Alright, if Zatanna makes it to the big screen, all of my wildest dreams have come true.
Anybody who throws on a domino mask suddenly has laser eyes? Is that going to be the case? Because it's not just Batman.
No, dude, did you not? I mean, they've released screenshots of, like, the original screenshot of Batman looking down. He doesn't have the laser eyes. You can tell there's no glow. He has the laser eyes in the battle suit, which is a goddamn armored... It's power armor. It's Iron Man armor.
He's the Batternaut I saw.
Yeah, he's the Batternaut. He's the fucking Hulkbuster armor
So
made
not looking
Batman.
forward to this thing.
Did you not like The Dark Knight Returns?
No!
Get out.
I don't care. Excuse me, let me dial that back a
Get the
bit.
fuck out of this house.
It's not that it's bad or I hate it or anything. I just don't fucking care. I am so over Batman fighting Superman 5 years ago.
But no, don't you dare Seinfeld as I'm funny this. This is the Batman fighting Superman. This is the thing. Oh, fucking the scene where where Bruce Wayne with his old man honor mustache, and he's driving like a Formula One racer. He's like heading towards a cliff, and he's going, this would be a good death. But not good enough, and then he turns away the cliff. How can you not care about The Dark Knight Returns? It is so
I
good.
don't care about Batman versus Superman. In general, in concept. I don't care about them fighting. I cared about them fighting when I hated Superman. I don't hate Superman anymore. I would rather they just get along.
But it's still interesting, and it's not interesting because of the EP. Well,
No, I understand.
Batman would always win prep time, or Superman's a super mega ultra genius. In addition to everything else, he would totally see through Bruce's prep time and laser vision him from space, or what the fuck ever. That's not why it's interesting. It's interesting narratively, and it's an interesting narrative construct. And this is the first time they're going after it on the big screen.
And that's fair. But is this the narrative construct we want to base the Justice League on? And if so, why?
Yes, and I can give you why. Alright, so you have a movie basis with, you're starting with Superman versus Batman. That's your beginning point. Here's why you want it as your beginning point. In the Justice League, the big three are Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They are the big three of the Justice League. They are the Trinity. They are the Justice League. Everyone else is inferior in the end. So you want to start with the two biggest members of that. I personally would have started with Wonder Woman in a much larger role, but the universe is what it is, and we can't go back in time. So it's Batman versus Superman, or Superman versus Batman. No, fuck, Batman versus Superman. I like Batman more.
It's Batman versus Red Batman.
Yeah, Batman versus Red Batman, who snaps people's necks. Oh, by the way, Neil Adams. Neil Adams made a really, really good observation. I guess Zod can't move his eyes, like back and forth.
Yeah.
He comes from a planet where that's impossible. They're locked into his skull directly forward.
Maybe that's like the laser vision is so focused that, like, they do kind of lock into your skull directly forward.
But you don't, no, it doesn't.
Like all of the muscles or whatever.
In the movie, when Superman does the thing in Man of Steel where he's like, Krypton had its chance, and he lasers the ship in half, he doesn't just like roll his eyes around and do it. He locks his head and moves his whole head.
Think about that. Think about if you were pooping. Because this is really the only thing we do that's somewhat
even
close.
remotely similar.
Yeah. Think about if you were pooping, all right?
It's the only thing we do that counts as extruding.
Okay? Now, if you wanted to poop in a line, would you carefully flex the muscles around your anus in order to rotate your anus? Or would you just shake your butt?
Right, but here's the thing. We move our eyes. We don't, but you're right. In the movie, whenever he uses laser vision, he doesn't move his eyes. He moves his head. That's a really neat bit of internal consistency.
Oh, and I'm sure it's on purpose.
Another observation he said was, I guess Superman can't, just reach up and cover his eyes.
Ow.
I mean, yeah, he wants to protect the family, and he's willing to murder, but not get owies. Anyway,
we can't get dragged into Man of Steel.
We can't go down that
because I'll just talk about what a great movie Zod versus some dick is.
Anyway, any the fuck way. Here's why you want this as your narrative construct. One, it sets up the classic superhero narrative construct of let's you and him fight. Of two dudes fighting because I assume Lex Luthor organized them not to agreeing with each other. But that's just typical superhero fare. The superheroes fight and then they decide they don't want to fight and they go fight the real enemy. That's what you do.
Well, I expect that. They did that in the Avengers.
Yeah, that's why here's why you want it. One, nerds love to watch superheroes fight, so it helps your nerd audience.
Sure.
Two, it establishes the characters as having different morals, which sets up interesting conflict in the plot and in future plots. Because if they were identical morals, they wouldn't disagree. Even if there was a misunderstanding, it probably wouldn't come to blows if they had identical morals. They have differences in opinion, differences in personality, and those things cause friction, which allows for combat. It allows you to set up friction amongst teammates, which is a good mechanic in a team movie. The friction amongst teammates is important. It's an important part of a team sort of thing, because their coming together is part of the narrative structure. Then there's more reasons. I could go into more reasons.
Oh, I mean, by all means. I have my own interpretation and my own preference, but please make yourself known in total.
All right. The other reason you want to start off with this is because it gives you a set piece. It gives you a way to draw in your audience. The Justice League is good and important, and nerds love it, and even non-nerds kind of know what it is because of the Super Friends and shit. But
most people call it the Super Friends.
Yeah, but they know who Batman is, they know who Superman is, and they want to watch them fight. So your general audience gets pulled in by this too, and then you can turn that into that movie. Is that entirely necessary? No. The Avengers just pulled them in based on the strength of their previous movies, but DC doesn't have those previous movies to base their strength off of. They just have Man of Steel, and as you pointed out, Man of Steel is not exactly a perfect film, so they need something to bring people into this movie to get them invested. Another reason that you want to start with Batman versus Superman is because it sets the basis, the tone for the Justice League. And them starting as fighting and then coming together later sets up the standard conflict of Batman not really fitting in with the rest of the Justice League. You could easily set that up from there. And more importantly, sets them up as not the Super Friends. There's a couple more reasons, but those are the big ones.
Alright, I'm going to get my other points as they come, but let me boil right back off of that. They're only the Super Friends if Ben Affleck opens his mouth and sounds like Adam West.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Like, if after all this setup, he comes out and he's, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, Batman. Which he's not gonna be.
No.
As much as I despise the idea of Batfleck, I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna let him. I don't think Zack Snyder's gonna let Christopher Nolan let him.
Yeah, they've eaten enough shit for the Bat Boys. I think they learned their lesson.
So, yeah. I don't know that everybody wants to see Batman and Superman fight.
A lot of people want to see Batman and Superman
I'm
fight.
sure they do. I'm not arguing with that, but especially from an outside perspective, what I see more is Batman and Superman are fighting. Why? Aren't they friends?
Yeah, I mean, like, that at the very least is interesting.
Yeah, but this is all part of a greater whole. So I'm going to talk a little more freeform and less with individual bullet points. I don't. When we were first told we were getting a Batman and Superman movie, everybody was expecting World's Finest.
God, that would have been cool.
And that's your reaction when we already know what we're getting. Let me just make that point.
Oh, look, alright. Perfect world, I would have rather had a World's Finest movie, but I understand why they went with Batman versus Superman.
And this is... I understand why they did it, too. I think it's a bad move. I don't think this is going to pan out for them how they want it to. I'm sure they'll make money. I'm sure they'll make their budget back, at least. But I don't think this is going to go well. What they're trying to do is capture that same, I don't even want to say lightning in a bottle, carefully planned and maintained structure that led to the, pun not intended, juggernaut that was the Avengers. It for most people, compiled everything that those individual movies did and made it into one tight little story full of fansquee. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. Because, A, this movie, that you are probably right, is probably the setup for the Justice League, is not titled, Justice Rising, or something asinine like that. Or even anything the fuck else that you could possibly think of. It's not even Batman and Superman, or Batman Superman, or whatever. It's Batman versus Superman. This tells me that there's the core of the movie is their conflict. If you are spending a Nolan-length movie about Batman versus Superman,
man does not work short.
You are not going to have happy people come out of that. Unless it's like the end of Man of Steel, where Batman and Superman have beaten each other to a bloody pulp, killed each other's families that remain, and then at the last 5 minutes they're like, we're friends now, handshakes. The crime. And have room for the 2-3 other Justice League members that have already been announced. And they're teasing so hard. Where are you going to fit all this shit? And if you're going to make it more of a broad, movie, if only the first hour is Batman versus Superman, A, that's fine. In fact, that's probably healthier. But why are you calling your movie Batman versus Superman? Is this script even fucking done?
Yeah.
Is it really done?
Pretty sure the movie's already filming. But, alright. So we're clear here. Alright, are you ready? Are you prepared? Theaters have seats in them?
Yes.
Alright. So, what you want to do, the goal, is to put hind ends into those.
Okay. Let me peel this back a bit, alright? We haven't seen the second one, so I can't really go with that. But the first Hobbit movie, you're not a street sorcerer.
I am a street sorcerer.
Sidewalk sorcerer, excuse me.
Sidewalk sorcerer. Yeah!
The first Hobbit movie, remind me what the subtitle for that was. Was it,
Wait, what movie?
The first Hobbit movie.
Oh, hold on. The Hobbit, no, that's Hercules, the Legendary.
Legendary Journeys.
Like, I keep on...
Bilbo's fucking around and Eolus shows up.
That would have been amazing. No, shit, There and Back Again, maybe? The Hobbit. It was The Hobbit.
Yeah, there was some sort
And
of
then there was The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
That's the only one I can think of, too. But, you'll look it up and you'll get it figured out. My point is, the title of the movie wasn't The Hobbit.
An Unexpected Journey.
An Unexpected Journey. What a great fucking name for that movie. It's not Bilbo Baggins meets the dwarves. It's not Bilbo Baggins versus the Goblin King. It's not Bilbo Baggins versus the White Orc. It's not Bilbo Baggins versus Gollum. And conflict inherent in the first part, it's not Bilbo Baggins versus Gandalf.
Oh my god, that would sell tickets. I want to see Gandalf punch a fucking
It would
hobbit
sell
in the face.
tickets from internet critics who are like, oh man, we gotta see this shitty-ass movie so we can be mad about it.
And people who want to see Gandalf straight jack a hobbit in the face with his giant stick. Not in a sex way. That's a different ticket.
It's fanfiction.net, DeviantArt. Have fun. You are either misleading your people with your title, which is Dirty Fucking Pool, or you're not, which is, what are you... Why are you bothering with the Justice League if you want to make this movie? You are putting too much shit in this film.
I mean, you might be right, but I have hope.
I don't. I saw Man of Steel. If this was just Zack Snyder, fine. If this was just Nolan and Goyer, fine. But you three motherfuckers, I don't trust you together.
You don't trust the three schmuckleheads?
No!
But, I liked Man of Steel, so I don't have any reservations.
Well, and, I suppose that's a fair point. You were looking forward to a continuation of what you got.
Yeah.
I'm terrified by the prospect of a continuation of what I got. But more ambitious. And to me, that's what the white eyes might be indicative of. In fact, more realistically, are probably indicative of, is the movies becoming even more fucking schizophrenic.
I've got to be honest with you, a part of me would love to see that, not because it'd be good, but just because it'd be entertaining to watch something this big fail on this kind of scale. And that's going into it, that I really want this movie to do well, because I like the idea of Batfleck, and I hope he does well, because I think fucking Affleck's gonna crush it, yo. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, he'll be the bomb in this. And I really want the actors who do... I love Henry Cavill as Superman. When he's actually being Superman, he's
I thought he was great.
Fucking good. Gal Gadot, now that she looks good in the suit, I've looked her up. She's a good actress. She can handle the role dramatically. She can do it physically. I want her to do well. And I've already talked about I'm a huge fanboy of Jason Momoa. I want all of the principals who are Justice League members in this movie to do well. The only one I don't want to do well is Jesse Eisenberg. I want him to be so terrible as Lex Luthor they recast him for the next movie. No offense, Jesse. I just don't like you in the role. But
here's where I'm coming from, and this is the point I was trying to make. This is sort of the bookend here. What they're trying to do is make the Avengers now. When they're ignoring the fact that Iron Man had 2 fucking films before the Avengers came out. Hulk had 3 fucking films, 2 of which were really horrible bombs.
Just 2.
Just the 2? Regardless. Both of which were pretty horrible bombs. Thor had a movie, and another one coming out. Cap had a movie, and another one coming out. They were all individual successes that were built up. And while I agree and preach that you don't necessarily need to do an origin story for every superhero, you should also probably at least give them their own fucking movie.
I don't know. If the only reason they're there is for the ensemble, like Hawkeye don't need a Hawkeye movie.
Hawkeye's simple. He's a guy with a bow.
Really, just a very good shot.
Okay, this guy's in the super army. Why does he not have a gun? He must be really fucking good with that bow. And now you know Hawkeye.
Because he's good enough that they don't make him have a gun.
But
that Nick Fury did not slap him on the face and go, get a fucking gun. What is this stupid archery bullshit?
But we have confirmed Aquaman, who's the king of the sea.
Fuck you.
Did you know there was a sea kingdom?
Yeah, that's gotta be great. Fuck you.
Well, we gotta work this into the movie, though.
They're putting Atlantis in. And he's not gonna be the Golden Mullet Award Aquaman, because let's face it, you can't make Jason Momoa a blonde guy.
You could try. It might be interesting looking. And they're bringing in Wonder Woman, who's made of clay.
Are they doing the Made of Clay?
I don't fucking know.
I don't think they're doing that. They're probably
not. But still,
at least they're not touching it.
Okay, Batman doesn't need a whole fucking movie for his origin story.
You know why? Everyone knows who Batman is.
Even if they didn't.
He's Batman.
The first 20 minutes of a Batman movie can tell you why is Batman.
Look at the original 1989 Batman. Alright, I love that movie for nostalgia reasons. Full disclosure, that thing does not fucking hold up. It is a tough sit. It is not a great Batman movie. Not even really a good movie.
The more you love Batman, the worse that movie is.
Yeah, and I still love it for pure nostalgia. But it does no origin story, and you still know who Batman is in the first 10 minutes.
They give you the general gist. The fucking animated series gave you the gist in less than an episode.
It's not hard. But I ultimately...
Even Superman doesn't need... He did fucking...
Alright, just fucking dial down, chill out. We want to talk about other stuff in this podcast.
Yeah, I originally intended to save this for last because my rage is so frothing. My red lantern ring is fucking flaring.
I want to talk about other stuff. I want to talk about a movie that we both think is going to be good. Mostly because it looks like it's going to be good.
What? There's a good thing happening?
Yeah, Age of Ultron.
Oh, I have similar reservations as I did because of Man of Steel, but I have hopes as well.
I don't know why. They've done so much more fucking establishing. This is what you wanted Man of Steel to do. This is...
No. Here's my... I have... Listener.
Alright, look.
Listener, before we go on, like, comment, favorite, subscribe, tweet, share. Okay? Just please, before you hear me say these words, do all those things.
We might go long on this, by the way, just so you know, listener. Go ahead, let the internet know.
On the whole...
This is the deep, dark secret of the Two Nerds podcast.
I was underwhelmed by the Avengers.
There's at least one human being on Earth who doesn't like the Avengers.
I didn't think anybody was characterized enough. Except maybe Tony. Which is fine, but...
I entirely disagree with him. Just so we're clear.
No, he loves it. He vaps to it every night, and he makes me watch. It's awful. But, I didn't hate it. I liked this movie. I did. But, the more Joss is around Black Widow, the less I like Black Widow. Because most of Joss's heroines I don't like. Not 100%. There's lots of redeeming qualities about Buffy.
She talks real fun.
Yeah, and, she makes sense as to why she is the character she is. Of course, Buffy. She has however many seasons of this.
I like Buffy.
Oh, I loved her in the first couple seasons of the show. And I like Willow 100%. Dude, I'm not that bad. I don't hate Fluttershy, okay? That's... But I fucking hate Faith.
He really does. He hates Faith so much, he hates Elijah Dushku and everything.
And I actually think I like that actress, but it's like, I think she's Faith. I hate it when he says 5x5, he being the boy, because I hate Faith.
I do. I say 5x5 around the house. When someone asks me how I am, I will respond on occasion 5x5. It makes him mad.
And it's not even her. It's just that. I hate Illyria.
Look, I hate Illyria. But that's a separate thing. I hate Illyria because I like Fred.
Yeah, that's a lot
fucking
of it.
Bullshit.
But I also don't like Illyria's character either. Just period.
I was filled with so much rage at the situation, I never even got to know the character.
And later seasons of Buffy, like, if you don't take the first couple seasons into account, I don't like her. And the reason I say that you can refuse to take the first couple seasons into account is because we don't have Black Widow's first couple seasons.
I love her in...
She's much better in Cap 2.
Yeah, fucking in The Winter Soldier, she's a really good character, dude.
I don't... She starts to bring me around, I'll put it that way. Look, I really don't like her in Avengers. And so much screen time was devoted to a character we barely know anything about. And we still, at the end of the movie, don't know shit about her.
Well, you needed more screen time for her because the others had movies. You needed screen time for...
Give her a fucking movie.
You needed screen time for her and Hawkeye, and Hawkeye was busy being brainwashed.
That's my second problem with that fucking movie.
He's of the opinion that Black Widow should have been the one to get brainwashed, because Black Widow is traditionally a duplicitous agent. You don't know whose side she's really on, that sort of thing. That's her thing in comic books, along with being basically Molotov cocktease and having a ridiculous Russian accent.
I don't mind that they dropped the Russian accent. I mean,
but
I get why they did. It makes sense. Why would an international agent keep the thick-ass...
I am obviously from Russia accent. But, he's of the opinion that it should have been Black Widow who got, taken out. I have tried to explain to him on numerous occasions that doesn't work. For so many filmmaking reasons, it's a terrible idea.
I get it.
It would have made the movie worse.
We've talked about this so much, listener, we don't have time for me to get into it. Rest assured that I could explain it to you if you cared. And comment if you want to know. We'll do a separate little podcast just about the Avengers.
We could do, and honestly, it probably would be too big for one of the quick podcasts. We could probably do an entire podcast on the Avengers. But, we might in the lead up to 2.
And I thought the pacing was weird.
I also disagree about that.
Anytime I wanted it to be slow and really cherish the moment, it was really fast and punchy. Anytime I wanted it to be fast and punchy, it sort of slowed things down. The only time I was super happy with the pacing was after they captured Loki and they were on the helicarrier. Up until the helicarrier exploded. Now, that was fine. In fact, best section of the fucking movie.
I would... that's debatable, but...
Me personally. My personal opinion.
But for Age of Ultron...
I'm worried that they're going to do the same thing but worse, because they're adding so many more characters to it. Characters that have their own movies, but...
But here's the thing. They're adding characters, but the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, those are the characters they're really adding. Yeah. They're new villains. They're antagonistic in this movie. Then there's obviously Thanos.
Right.
He'll probably be in it at some point. And then Ultron. With a 2-hour movie, you have time to characterize the villains, and you have time to characterize pretty much everyone in the movie who's new. You have more time because the characterization for Captain America, their Hulk, Ruffalo's Hulk, and Tony Stark is done.
I suppose that's true. Because I thought Thor was great in the Avengers because he didn't need more characterization. He was done.
Thor.
He just made stupid one-liners that I loved. And he got mad at stuff and hit it with his hammer. With that look on his face like, this is a thing that is dumb. I shall smite him.
And the characterization for Tony as of Iron Man 3 is done. He's Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. He's fucking set. Iron Man 3, gorgeous movie. Loved it.
Yeah. Fucking Iron Man 3, so good. So good.
There's been some shifting around in the lower tiers of my top 20. Those of you who are a longtime Two Nerds fan, there's been a little bit of shifting in the bottom 10 of my top 20 movies, if you guys remember the video we did. If not, we did a video. I think you can still find it on Blip. They won't let us upload it on YouTube.
That would get taken down so fast.
And it did. So it's just gone. But Iron Man 3, fucking...
rocket to the top.
Meteoric. Not the top. It's not my favorite movie, but it's fucking up there.
For me, it took a rocket to... It's fighting with the Dark Knight. And you all know how big of a Batman fan I am.
Yeah, I love it because I was never an Iron Man fan.
Me neither. I fucking hated Iron Man. Before
Yeah.
the Iron Man movies, I hated the Iron Prick. I hated everything about Tony in the comics. He was always an asshole. He was always a douche. He was a fucking alcoholic who never got over his problems and always tried to get in everyone else's fucking business. He was an asshole. The only storyline I remotely liked was Armor Wars, and that was in the fucking 80s. And then the movies made him amazing. And it's been a wondrous ride.
Yeah.
I love Iron Man 3. Kiss Kiss Clang Clang is just aces.
Yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10 would watch again.
Yeah, definitely.
Own on Blu-ray, have watched again.
Yeah, to have. But...
And that's what's got me worried about Age of Ultron. I think it'll be a cromulent movie. I would be surprised if it were anything less than cromulent.
I honestly think, and this is from, I like I said, I didn't get to see the teaser trailer, but I read up on what happens. The teaser trailer starts with them, with the Avengers, all in costume, in Tony's offices, just fucking digging around. They're like making jokes at each other, hanging out. They're done. They're a tight-knit group. They're the Avengers now.
Good.
So you have the rest of the movie to characterize the new people.
And, I suppose there's that, too. There was so much setup. They had to fight. They had to bicker.
And that's done now.
Especially with Loki doing his thing.
But that's done now.
Yeah.
They're the Avengers, and you have time to characterize the new people and give them their stories.
Yeah. That should make it feel a little bit better.
But, and here's the thing I wanted to get to. They revealed who Thanos is. Josh Brolin.
Oh, yeah.
There was a big reveal. Josh Brolin is Thanos. Josh Brolin is Thanos. And then Eric and I talked, and we realized...
You called me by my real name.
Yeah, it was weird. We talked, and we realized neither of us could think of a single fucking thing Josh Brolin had ever been in. And really, I have no idea who this is, otherwise...
I've heard his name a lot.
I know he's a famous guy. I have no idea what he's been in. He didn't come to mind. He didn't ring a bell at fucking all. So what we did was we pulled up his filmography. So let's do, if you're like us... Listener, Ultimo, if you're like us and have basically no clue who Josh Brolin is, here's who Josh Brolin is. What's some stuff he's been in?
Well, right? He was the big brother in The Goonies. Brandon Walsh. Brand.
Oh, he was Brand.
Okay.
Okay, see, now I know who he is. He's Brand from The Goonies.
I never saw The Goonies.
Get out!
I wasn't allowed. And then by the time I was allowed, it was like, am I going to appreciate this?
Yes, you will.
I don't think
We're watching The Goonies.
I don't know.
We're watching the fucking Goonies.
Isn't it just like gross?
Shut the fuck up. We're watching the Goonies. You don't get a choice.
Can I just watch Man of Steel again? Let's see. There's a bunch of other shit that doesn't matter.
No, give me some. I want to.
I'm talking about like bit parts in TV episodes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, here we go. Hollow Man. He was Matt Kensington.
I saw Hollow Man once. Kevin Bacon was good in it. I don't remember much about it.
It was an Into the West TV miniseries where he played Jedediah Smith.
Well, that's pretty great.
He was Doc Block in Grindhouse. I like Doc Block.
Oh, Doc Block and all right.
Okay, he was No Country for Old Men because he got like millions of awards for it.
Which character in No Country?
Llewellyn Moss.
Oh, Moss.
Okay.
Oh!
Moss.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, he was W in W?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, now I know who this is.
Okay, no, I'm into this. He was Jonah Hex in Jonah Hex. I never did see that.
No, now I'm into this. Fucking, I saw No Country for Old Men. I love No Country for Old Men. Oh, my God, he's gonna be a really good dancer.
He's the new Dwight.
What?
In A Dame to Kill For.
Oh, he's gonna be good.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to top the old Dwight, though.
Well, no, but he's gonna be a good...
Oh, man.
I saw him in No Country for Old Men. Now that I'm reminded who this is, he's gonna be good.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm into this.
All right.
I'm glad we saved this reveal for the show.
Yeah, that was... All right. Dude, Josh Brolin. I did not remember your name.
I'm sorry, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, I apologize because clearly
I'm not going to go as far as I did to apologize to Zack Snyder when I didn't see Sucker Punch in theaters, but...
You literally tweeted him.
No, I went to his Facebook.
You went to his Facebook?
I went directly to his Facebook and wrote on his wall, I am very sorry. If I ever see you, I owe you $10.
And you will pay him?
I will give him a 10 spot right there.
So will I. That movie was really good.
I'm really sorry I didn't see it in theaters. That was my mistake.
That movie was really good.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's another half of the internet we just alienated. Come to the Two Nerds podcast where you'll hate us.
Wait. He doesn't like the Avengers. He didn't like Man of Steel. And they both like Sucker Punch?
Wait. Okay, I think we can make it worse.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right. Southland Tales, how do you feel?
I love that movie.
Oh, man, I fucking love it, too.
That's right, we both love Sucker Punch and Southland Tales.
Oh.
Are you ready, Internet? Go ahead, the down button is right next to the up button.
Thumbs down, whatever. Who gives a fuck?
I don't care, I fucking love those movies. Eat a dick.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go into why I like Southland Tales at some point. Once I figure out what I'm doing with one of the other video series that's going to be on this channel.
Ooh, other video series.
That I've been trying to pimp for months now.
But yeah, no. Fucking Southland Tales, Sucker Punch. That's another thing we could talk about for a while. Because I think I know the reason people don't like Sucker Punch. This is going to sound real pretentious. I don't think many people get Sucker Punch.
I don't think many people get Southland Tales either.
Nope.
And I don't mean that they don't understand the symbolism. I don't think they get what was going on there.
No, because it's a real dense movie, and honestly a little confusing. But it's...
I mean, the symbolism is fucking
that's
clear.
real easy.
It's laid out. But there's... the entire movie is supposed to feel like like everything is wrong. I mean, look at the casting in that film, and this is the only thing I'm going to say, because this is the thing I always hear. What? This person in this role? What? This person did this? No, look at the fucking casting. Everything. Every single person in that movie is being cast against type.
Violently against type. And that's intentional.
Will Sasso is a terrifying gangster.
John Lovitz is a real creepy, very serious, murderous cop.
Sherry O'Terry kicked the Highlander's ass.
Sherry O'Terry kicked the Highlander's ass.
The Rock is a schizophrenic and kind of a weenie.
Stifler is a very serious, introspective person.
Stifler is Christ.
Stifler is Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Do you understand?
Non-ironically.
Do you understand that this casting and type is intentional? It's meant to drive cognitive dissonance in the movie.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, the heroine of the 90s, is a whore.
A stupid whore. This is... you know what? No, we have to stop. We have to stop. Otherwise we'll go for a 4-hour podcast.
Alright, let's wrap this up with the last piece of amazing news we have from Comic-Con. Godzilla 2.
That's confirmed.
Alright, it's been confirmed since just after the movie came out and did well at the box office.
Alright, are you ready? Drum
Here's
roll.
the important part. There are three confirmed monsters, and I'm going to give them to you in order of importance. Alright? We have Rodan. That's to be expected. Rodan's Godzilla's bestie. Rodan, for those of you who don't know, is the big pterodactyl guy. That's cool. I'm not a big fan of Rodan, but that's cool. We have King Ghidorah. That's going to be awesome. And we pretty much figured that going in because they kept talking about how they're doing a King of the Monsters style storyline for the next movie, and he's the villain of King of the Monsters, of Monster Island.
He's always been the villain of the Monster Island.
So yeah, we're going to get to see Rodan and Godzilla go up against King Ghidorah, and it's going to be fucking awesome. Yeah. Number 3.
And this one. Are you ready? You're
Mothra.
not.
Mothra. Oh, so good.
They're going to do Mothra. I live in a world where there's going to be a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie in this day and age that does Mothra.
Oh, here's the other thing. They're making a King Kong 2. You know what this is going to build up to.
No, we're not that lucky.
You know, we are. This is the world we live in. You know what? Fuck Superman, fuck Batman, fuck the Avengers.
Hey, not fuck Batman. Fucking take that back.
Fuck Batman tenderly.
Okay, then.
We live in a world where in the modern era, with the latest technology and not a dude in a fucking suit, we get to see, coming soon, eventually, TM, Godzilla versus King Kong.
To quote...
This is what every remake has been leading up to.
It's all been leading to this movie. And to quote Godzilla's personal Paul Heyman, Ken Watanabe, let them fight.
That was the tagline for the trailer, the teaser they showed.
Because
let
they
them fight.
know.
Because they knew. Oh, it's going to be great.
And I gotta be honest with you, listener. This movie, the idea of Godzilla vs. King Kong excites me so much, I don't know if I'm telling the truth when I say everything is better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's go!